Ronda, the jewel, referred to the jewel of the Pueblos Blancos. Most significant is this Puente Nuevo foundation, Roman times. Probably blown up and then it was rebuilt. I think it took something like 5-10 years to build the bridge. El Tajo Gorge. You can see why this was selected as a fortress town. Nobody's coming up those walls. So if you cross over the Puente Nuevo into the new part of town, there's a trail, a hiking trail, just off of the right. And it takes you to this trail, which is about 15 minutes maybe. It's a little bit, coming back, it's a little bit steepish, but not too bad. It does give you great views. You can actually, there's a museum inside of the bridge that you can pay to go and see. It's a little bit cheesy, but you're there. It's not that expensive. Pretty water. So the Museo de Ronda Mondragon Palace is a converted from a Middle Ages palace into a museum for the city. We will see Arabic influence in this palace. So Islamic domination almost through the 15th century, 1485, they were conquered by the Marquis of Cadiz, which were the Catholics. So we can see, especially in this garden, that the heavy Arabic influence. Lovely gardens. As you walk over to this area, you'll see these great views of the valley. Original inhabitants would have been the Romans. Not the original, but the Romans were the primary rulers with their expansion west. A nice little water feature. Plaza del Toros, very close. It's a nice little plaza. They charge a little bit too hefty of admission, and so this gives you a pretty good idea. Unless you're a plaza guy and you just have to see this, I've got these are nice photographs that gives you a pretty good sense of what that was like. Iglesia de Santa Maria, Plaza de Socorro. For my particular taste, I found Ronda to be perhaps just a little bit too touristic. I like a little bit slower pace, not so touristic. However, if you are of that mind and you want more things to do, this is probably not a bad place to home base it. You're going to have more options, more restaurants. There are more museums. There's actually, I think, a Picasso museum, which has got very insignificant work in it, so save your money. It seems like every single town in Spain has a Picasso museum. Don't you see one, you basically have seen them all. We're actually headed over to the other part of town, which is probably about a 10-minute walk. Now the city is still well occupied. I think it has something close to 33,000 inhabitants. Interesting point. Notice the metal bars on the windows. I asked a local person one day, what's with all the bars? Is there a lot of theft? And he made an interesting comment. He said, unlike the United States where people have guns to discourage somebody from coming in, well, here they put the bars up to discourage you from even trying to get into their house. So I thought that was a pretty good answer. Gone are the days of our churches always open and the doors are always unlocked. Now the doors are always locked and you have to pay an admission to get inside. Pretty little church though. I don't remember the name of that church. We'll continue on our walk. Again, this is a functional, well-occupied city. You're going to see some remnants of a Roman wall there on the right. So this would have been surrounded by a Roman wall back in Roman times, which would have been BC to a little bit after BC AD. So let's head to the Arabic baths. So we can see 800 years of Arabic rule. These were not minor structures. These would have accommodated quite a few people. I mean, I'm sure not only was it just for cleansing, but it was probably a place that people congregated, conducted business, perhaps strategized with war. So we're probably looking at structures are in the neighborhood of 2,000 years old. I mean, they're beautiful. So these would have been manually heated and steamed. Puerta de Almocabar. So that would have been on, this is on the other side part of the walled city. We saw that church earlier and this plaza earlier. So something I haven't talked about are paradors. Paradors are state-run buildings of historic significance. They're, generally speaking, they're usually luxury type, more luxury type of accommodations. They're beautiful. They can be monasteries, convents, churches. It was a way, I guess, that the state could take over buildings that needed a lot of work, and converting them to rentals, if you will, was a way to generate income for the maintenance. So that kind of concludes our visit. Thanks for watching.